let's see about list type. So tuple data type is being supported by Python, ML, F#. Now let's look into list type. List is first supported in the basic functional programming language, which is Lisp. Lisp basically stands for list processor. The name itself, it says it uses a data structure which is list. So list is a basic data type which uses a data structure in Lisp programming language. Now, not only list is a type in Lisp, but also it is a type in schema and common Lisp. Schema, common Lisp, Lisps are all descendants of functional programming language. First functional programming language is what? Common Lisp, and then schema, and then Lisp. All these three are descendants of functional programming languages. All supports list type. So list type is what? The way how I have specified over here. So this is what something like of linked list we will learn from data structures, right? We'll put all these data elements in the form of a linked list. So one item is linked with the another item in the same list. So here in the list I have specified with 4 attributes. All these 4 attributes are connected to through a list. A is connected to B and the next is connected to C. So whatsoever elements you will find in list, that all will connected through list. Now come down, you can even initialize a nested list in Lisp. Lisp is a language, list is a data type. Now A, B, C, D, these are called as nested list. A list is consisted within the list. BC is a list because we noticed with the parentheses that is available in the other list, hence it is a nested list. So in this list, BC is what? A nested list because it is there in the inside of the list. Now data and code have the same syntactic form in the Lisp and its descendants. If the list is BC, ABC is interpreted as code, it is called to the function A with parameters B and C. So basically we will be writing here function name and these two are what? Parameters. The reason to understand in this way, I told you just before, these are what? Functional programming languages. When I say some languages belongs to functional programming language, the syntaxis of functional programming language is written in terms of functions. The first identifier is function name, the next identifiers are parameters of the function. Let's say if I write plus 3, 7, the mean of this in list, the mean of this in functional programming languages, let's say Lisp. Lisp is a functional programming language. Plus is the function name. Now that's what I am triggering out. A is what? Function name. BC are what? Parameters. If you say here also, plus is function name, parameters are 3 and 7. So function plus will take 3 parameters to give the result of addition. You cannot say this is an operator concerned to the functional programming language. It is concerned to function. Now, so the fundamental list operations is in schema or 2 functions that take list apart and 2 that build list. Those functions are char function, CAR, char function, CDR. So these are the functions. If you wanted to return the first attribute, will take one function name into use. If you wanted to return the other 2 parameters, will take the other one. Now let's differentiate these two. Even this is important for your end semester examination. Write the syntaxes of CAR and CDR. Now CAR function returns the first element of its list. What is the first element of the list? Parameter. For example, consider the following example. CAR quotation ABC. The code before the parameter list is to prevent the interpreter from considering the list a call to the A function with the parameters B and C. Now this function will return what value? First element of its list. What is the first element of its list? This call to char returns A. So this is what CAR. If you wanted to return the next attributes, then we'll use CDR. CDR is what? Returning the next attributes. If you use here CDR, then we'll return the BC. If you use CAR, we'll return the first parameter or first element. If you return the next one, we'll return the BC. And in schema and common Lisp, the same thing can take in place with the cons and list function. If I write cons A, B, C, then we'll return the value of A. Now let's see, the function cons takes two parameters and returns a new list with its first parameter as the first element and its second parameter as the remainder of that list. For example, consider the following, cons A, B, C. Then what we'll write? We'll return, if I have cons A, B, C, we'll return A value as your return statement. Now, let's see the next thing, how list types are being supported in Lisp. So we'll use list here. So in the before one, we were taken Lisp only, but we were taken two different functions, correct? CAR function, CDR function to return only a particular value. Now I'm going to talk about how list will used in the Lisp programming language. Now, the list function takes any number of parameters and returns a new list with the parameters as its elements. For example, consider the following call to list. List A, B, C, D. This call returns the new list A, B, C, D. Now we'll talk about ML programming language. ML is a different programming language. You cannot compare the features of the other programming language. All ML, Lisp, Schema, Common Lisp, all are having one common similarity, which is all these are functional oriented languages. Now, so look at this 579. 579 or what? The elements what I am giving into the list. So if I wanted to write a empty list, I can put only empty bracket. So empty square bracket will represent that list is an empty one. If I wanted to add a element into the list, I told you in the beginning, tuple is immutable, list is mutable. So when something is mutable, I can change, I can add, I can delete some items from the list, right? Now let's see how can I add an element to the list. So element to the list can be added with this operator. So basically that operator is what? A binary infix operator. This operator is what? Binary infix operator. Now using of this operator, I can add elements into the list. If I write 3 binary infix 579, 3 will get added into the list. Now your list will become what? 3, 5, 7, 9. Fine. Now, the elements of a list must be of the same type, and this is the second difference what you can find against your tuple. So, tuple can have, tuple features or tuple is immutable, tuple can have mixed data types into it. List is what? List is mutable, list will not have different data items into the list. So, here this 57.39 can be accepted by tuple, but it cannot be accepted as a list. So that's what I wrote here point, it should be a same type. It cannot be a different type and we are not allowed to take a different data items into the list. Now let's see other uniqueness of ML programming language. If you wanted to return a value of head, we were taking the same concern in the Lisp. Lisp is a language, if you wanted to return a first value, we'll use functions, right? CAR function, CDR function. But ML, if you wanted to return the header value or head position value, first element, we'll use a keyword which is head. Now, when you write head 5,79, the value whichever is available in the head position or first position, that value will get returned out. If you wanted to write the next values, that will use tail value, TL, and we'll write the whole list. Now it will return as 79. So ML uses keywords, Lisp uses functional keywords. So this is about the difference in between them. These are what the languages which support list and the languages which support tuple. Thank you all.